Are you taking statins to lower your bad cholesterol? If so, I'm going to give you 3 simple questions you need to ask your doctor immediately. These 3 little questions are so important, they could save your life. Because you might believe that these statin pills are keeping you safe and healthy. But the truth is, if your doctor has you on statins, you're probably already suffering from a different horrific condition that the statins can't cure. And recent research shows that statins could actually be making this condition worse. This condition is so bad, it's been linked to 4 out of 5 non-traumatic deaths in America in the last 3 years. That's right, 4 in 5. But because it often hides behind other conditions, it's almost never blamed for being the murderer that it is, and people are practically never treated for it. That means it's silently murdering more Americans than died in World War I and World War II combined. Up to 1.4 million helpless Americans every year, and millions more are crippled by its debilitating effects. This silent assassin is the #1 reason behind heart attacks, strokes, and kidney failures. It's an accessory to cancer and vascular dementia. And even when it doesn't kill you, it ruins your sex life, robs you of energy, and condemns you to an ever-constant fatigue. It's been linked to arthritis, and it's one of the main causes of chronic pain in people over 50. Recent studies show that almost 1 in 2 people with rheumatoid arthritis have it. It's one of the main reasons why people don't recover after surgery, even when everything went well. Even worse, taking statin pills might actually accelerate the speed at which this hidden condition destroys your life and puts you into the grave. Which is why after you learn the 3 vital questions to ask about statins, I'll also show you exactly what one international surgeon discovered you need to do to make sure you or your loved ones are never victimized by this devastating hidden disease. So, the first question you should ask your doctor is, what is the NNT? You see, not everyone is helped by a drug. Some benefit, some are harmed, and some are unaffected. The NNT tells us how many need to take a drug for one person to benefit. For instance, if a drug helps 1 in 2 people who take it, the NNT is 2. Yet for statins, the NNT resembles some sort of twisted lottery. In fact, the New York Times reports that unless you already have coronary heart disease, statins can have an NNT as high as 300. That's right, 300 people would have to take a statin for 5 years or more so that 1 would avoid a stroke or a heart attack. The odds of statins not doing anything to save your life? A whopping 99.6%. Many doctors know this. It's probably why more than half of British doctors would not take a statin or recommend it to a relative. And that's related to question number 2. What side effects can I expect? If your doctor did his homework, he will tell you statins carry a significant risk of myopathy, a form of muscle damage that can sometimes be permanent. Statin takers routinely experience dizziness, fatigue, lightheadedness, and many other devastating side effects. Even worse, a 2015 study from Finland shows statins increase your risk of developing diabetes by 46%. Or if you already have it, it can make it worse. To top it all off, your risks of experiencing one of these side effects is up to 10 times higher than your odds of statins doing anything to heal you. Your doctor may still insist that statins lower cholesterol, and he would be right. Statins are scientifically proven to lower bad LDL cholesterol. This is why it's worth asking question number 3. Will lowering my bad LDL cholesterol with statins prevent a heart attack or stroke? The answer to this question is simple. Probably not. As a famous UCLA study showed, 75% of people who have heart attacks have normal LDL cholesterol. Half had levels most doctors would consider great, which means the statins can successfully lower your bad cholesterol, yet you can still die. In fact, there's growing evidence that cholesterol alone is not enough to put you in an early grave. A recent study done in Japan actually showed that high cholesterol is linked to a lower risk of death. For cholesterol to turn on the kill switch, it needs to be in a dark alliance of 4 deceiving conditions that you may already have. Individually, each of them isn't strong enough to kill you, but together, they are the root causes of America's #1 killer, vascular failure. Neglecting vascular failure and its 4 root causes virtually guarantees you a one-way ticket to a debilitating cardiovascular event like a stroke or heart attack. Vascular failure increases your risk of vascular dementia, kidney failure, and of 5 different types of cancer. And it's the one main preventable cause of death in America and worldwide, which means all you need to fix is this one thing to quickly add healthy decades to your lifespan. The problem is, you could have all 4 root causes of vascular failure and not even know it. There are very few symptoms other than constant fatigue, occasionally swollen limbs, or erectile dysfunction in men. This is why you need to pay attention to this short presentation. This is particularly urgent if you tend to accumulate belly fat, if you've been taking statins for high LDL cholesterol, if you've been diagnosed with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, or if you've been struggling to keep your blood pressure under control. After watching this video, you'll finally understand why your cholesterol, along with your other blood test results, keep getting worse despite your best efforts. Why that distant relative had a stroke even though no one saw it coming. And why you might be closer to the edge than you're thinking, even if there are no red alert signs in your body or in your blood test results. You'll understand how the very prescription drugs that are meant to heal you kickstart a game of whack-a-mole with your conditions, and what you could do to break the vicious circle fast. The good news is, once you understand what the root causes of vascular failure are, you won't waste more time or money popping hundreds of pills that don't work or that make you sicker, and you can focus on the one thing that works. So, what is vascular failure and why are doctors so helpless against it? This is what the best-selling author or survival MD, Dr. Radu Skurtu, was asking himself after practicing general surgery in 3 different countries. He had witnessed 3 completely different healthcare systems, ranging from Romania, one of the poorest countries in Europe, to the state-of-the-art healthcare from Germany and France. Now, cholesterol or statins aren't something surgeons usually care about. It's not a surgeon's job. Vascular disorders, on the other hand, now that's something they have to take very seriously. Because when the blood doesn't flow normally, the patient may not recover from surgery. And that's exactly what the doctor learned from a very extreme case that ended with a police investigation that almost left him without a job. It was a hot morning in July. The doctor got out of bed, took a shower, drank his coffee, and drove to the hospital. It looked like an uneventful day, and he was presented with a case that had nothing special about it. We'll call him Patient X. It was a 37-year-old patient who had come in with peritonitis, a burst appendix. Not a walk in the park, but still a type of surgery that the doctor had done countless times before. The operation took only 50 minutes, and it went well. The patient was taken to ICU, and everything seemed to go according to plan. Until disaster struck. Mr. X didn't wake up from his anesthesia. He was dead. Everyone went into a state of shock. The parents couldn't understand what had happened, and the doctor couldn't find the answer. He knew that 37-year-olds don't typically die from appendicitis, even when it's complicated by peritonitis. Yet he wanted to give the family a truthful answer, something that would put them at ease and that would help him sleep at night. While filing the death certificate, the doctor tried to trace back his steps and see if anything went wrong. Did the patient die of a hemorrhage? No. Were there signs of anemic shock in post-op? Did he have a stroke? No. There was no sign of neurological deficit. Was it a septic shock due to peritonitis? Couldn't be, because the death happened too early after the operation. Could it have been an anaphylactic shock due to an allergy to some drug? There was no sign of it on the post-op monitoring. So when he filled in the cause of death, the doctor knew he could give a cop-out answer and say that the death was natural or that the causes were unknown. Instead, he opted for the riskiest answer, the one that would have him investigated and that could potentially lose him his job. He filed it as unnatural death. Merely 15 minutes after signing the death certificate, the German criminal police, Kripo, came and locked down the place, sealed everything, took fingerprints, and collected everything from needles, surgical instruments, gloves. everyone was interrogated. It took 3 whole weeks for the final investigation results to arrive in the mail. After a moment of hesitation, the doctor tore open the sealed envelope. Inside, the 7-page report detailed what had happened. He jumped straight to the cause of death. It was a mouthful. Multiple systemic organ failure caused by severe sepsis due to acute appendicitis, complicated with general peritonitis, followed by acute renal failure, on a patient with a history of second-grade obesity, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and diabetic nephropathy. In plain English, his kidneys failed, causing a chain reaction of organ failures. Case closed. It was not the doctor's fault. But why did this happen? Something didn't add up. Kidneys don't just stop working. Diabetes and hypertension take years, sometimes decades, to degrade the kidneys so much. And when they do, the patient is put on dialysis or requires transplants. And that clearly wasn't the case with patient X. The doctor wanted to understand what was going on, because he couldn't shake the feeling that he'd seen it before. There was a pattern there that was killing people, and he needed to fully uncover it. So he locked himself in the hospital's archives and started researching like a mad scientist. But he didn't fully get it until he had another, very different case. Someone even more shocking. Not because he died, but because he survived. A senior we'll call Patient Y. Patient Y was a 96-year-old man found crawling on the floor in excruciating pain when his relatives came to visit. After going through the CT scan, the results terrified even the hardened radiologist, who called the emergency doctor, who in turn called Dr. Skirtu. As the surgeon arrived in the ER doctor briefed him on the disaster. Bowel perforation due to rectal cancer with generalized peritonitis on a 96-year-old man who had no other known illnesses except for his prostate adenoma. Basically, the old man's colon had burst, filling his entire abdomen with feces and pus and giving him atrocious pain. It was a miracle that the man was still alive. The ER doctor's verdict left no room for interpretation. He's as good as dead. But Dr. Skirtu didn't think so. He thought no one deserved to die in so much pain. He thought the old man had to be operated, if only to ease his pain and give him a few hours with his family to say his goodbyes. The entire team thought he was crazy. You want to operate on the walking dead, they said. He will die on the table. Just put him on morphine. But the operating room isn't a democracy. The surgeon has the final word, and he proceeded with the operation. So Dr. Skirtu kept his mouth shut, went through the checklist, made the incision, removed all the feces and the pus out of the abdomen, washed the bowels with 4 gallons of fluid, made a colonostomy on the perforation site, and closed him up. And then, a bit nervous, he waited. 1 hour after the surgery, patient Y was still breathing. The next day, he was still alive. And the next day. In fact, patient Y lived long enough to even have his second surgery, this time for his bowel cancer. And a week after that one, 96-year-old patient Y left the hospital, cane in hand, on his own 2 feet, to the surprise of the entire medical team, including Dr. Skirtu. The doctor was happy for the old man, but puzzled. Patient X had died at just 37, when he should have lived. Patient Y lived long after leaving the hospital, even when no one gave him any chances. So he took another look at both cases, and he couldn't believe his eyes. So what made the difference? Why is it possible for some seniors to outlive the wildest expectations and to live active, energetic lives long into their 80s and 90s, while others die young, often with no obvious symptoms of a deadly disease? It turned out the 96-year-old wasn't as bad as he looked. When he looked beyond the glaring disaster patient Y had been hospitalized for, the doctor noticed the arteries of a healthy 40-year-old with very few plaque, almost no signs of atherosclerosis, and with almost perfect blood flow. Patient Y had virtually no signs of vascular failure. At the same time, patient X's arteries were the real disaster. They were damaged and clogged with plaque. His blood flow was so weak it was barely creeping along through his arteries, and he experienced the tragic consequences of vascular failure. So, what exactly does vascular failure look like? Vascular failure happens when blood flow slows down dramatically or even stops. It's like having old blood in your arteries. Tissues and organs gradually get less oxygen and nutrients, so they die. Vascular failure happens in more ways than one. Blood is pushed aggressively against your artery walls because of high blood pressure. This damages the delicate inner lining of the blood vessels. And when this happens, fat and calcium create plaque deposits, making your arteries stiff and narrow. When arteries to the heart are affected, you get coronary heart disease, a heart attack, or irregular heartbeats. When the blood vessels from your brain are affected, you get a stroke or a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke. Elsewhere in your body, it results in kidney failure, peripheral arterial disease, or even blindness. When you understand what the 4 root causes of vascular failure are, you'll also understand why it's so hard for modern medicine to reverse it. Dr. Skirtu called them the 4 deceivers. That's because alone, each of these conditions is too weak to do any serious damage. But together, they are strong enough to destroy your blood vessels from the inside and to sentence you to death, or worse. These are the root causes of up to 80% of non-traumatic deaths. Not just deaths from cardiovascular disease, but also from cancer, vascular dementia, or kidney failure. And here's the good part. Reversing these 4 root causes will not only slash your risk of stroke or heart attacks, it will make your life better, will add healthy years or even decades to your lifespan, and it will bring back that youthful energy that allows you to be active well into your retirement years. When left unchecked, the 4 deceivers will literally cause your arteries to age faster. This, in turn, unleashes a chain reaction of disease that affects your entire body, not just your heart and arteries, but your liver, kidneys, and even the brain. Having just 2 of these 4 deceivers in your system is enough to kickstart the vascular failure process. And the worst thing is, you probably wouldn't even notice until it's too late. So these are the 4 deceivers that you should stop right now from artificially aging your blood vessels: blood sugar, blood fats, blood pressure, and belly weight. Most of them have no symptoms. You could argue that belly fat is at least visible, but millions of people are TOFI, thin outside, fat inside. They have too much visceral fat surrounding their inner organs, and they don't even know it. Blood pressure has few symptoms, and nosebleeds or headaches are not among them. Cholesterol has no signs. And blood sugar will give you the occasional skin spots or blurry vision, but nothing serious until it's very, very late. On their own, they're not strong enough to harm your body. There are millions of fat, healthy people out there who have no diabetes and normal blood pressure levels. Cholesterol, on its own, is a harmless fat that can actually extend your life, as proven by a recent study done in Japan. Blood sugar can swing up and down with your daily coffee, and it's perfectly normal in otherwise healthy people. And blood pressure can go up just by watching your favorite team lose. But if it's not doubled by another underlying condition, it's usually not enough to put you in danger. So then what does turn the kill switch on? It's the combination of 2, 3, or all 4 of these conditions. For instance, excessive weight and diabetes have been linked to inflammation, even in your arteries. This in turn causes the small particles of LDL cholesterol to stick to the arterial wall, especially when they're being pushed by high blood pressure. In time, your arteries harden, get clogged, and the time bomb inside your arteries is set. And then all it takes is a small amount of effort. You shovel some snow, you lift a bag, or you want to have sex after a long break, and it could be the last time you do it. It doesn't take too much detective work to see just how connected these 4 deceivers are. For instance, very few people have diabetes listed as the main cause of death. Yet what do you think 68% of diabetes sufferers die of? If you guessed heart disease, you're right. And another 18% die of stroke. What's more, you'll notice that 2 diabetics in 3 also have hypertension and a cholesterol disorder. And most of them are overweight. Just check out the diabetes map of the USA and put it next to the obesity map. They're one and the same. High blood pressure can and will result in vascular damage over a long period of time, but in the presence of just one of the other three factors, even moderately high blood pressure can become deadly. In fact, just having diabetes on top of hypertension increases your risk of cardiovascular disease by 100%. What's more, it's entirely possible to have just a little bit of hypertension, a bit of type 2 diabetes, a bit of cholesterol, and a bit of belly fat, and you're at a super high risk of vascular failure. It's like driving a car with old brakes on a foggy night. When you're tired and you've had one drink, it has disaster written all over it. And here's the kicker. Patient X had all of these four deceivers wreaking havoc on his body, and modern medicine had proven unable to help him reverse it. Patient Y had none. The point is simple. You're only as old as your arteries. And because of the way the four root causes of vascular failure are linked to one another, when they combine their powers, the result is much more devastating than when they're alone. So, what can you do to eliminate these vicious four root causes of vascular failure? The conventional way means playing the good old game of sickness whack-a-mole. Get prescription drugs to fix one condition while making the other ones worse. You go to the doctor and he would see you have high LDL cholesterol. He would automatically put you on a statin. The problem with most statins, as we've seen, is that they have documented side effects. In fact, they've been scientifically proven to increase your risk of developing diabetes by 46%. So now you have diabetes, or your existing diabetes just got worse. Your doctor may prescribe diabetes drugs. Yet many diabetes drugs, glitazones like Avandia, can cause rapid weight gain. Keeping blood pressure under control isn't easy either. Hydrochlorothiazide, a common blood pressure drug, is known to cause your bad LDL and triglycerides to surge. Other blood pressure drugs like thiazide diuretics will increase your blood sugar, and so on. Once you're on the merry-go-round, it's very hard to get off. Sometimes the very drugs that you're taking to become healthier will make your other conditions more extreme and will not reverse vascular failure. But being forced to overdose on prescription drugs does more than just open the door to the four deceivers. In the name of preventing one cardiovascular event, hundreds of innocent people will be forced to play the side effect roulette and endure permanent muscle loss, dizziness, fatigue, or even impaired memory function. Dr. Skirdu was frustrated. On one hand, he knew that modern medicine was amazing at discovering the underlying conditions of any patient. But when it came to treating the root causes, it's a disaster. The world population, especially the U.S., has been gorging on more and more prescription pills in the last 2 decades. You'd expect a sharp drop in the number of diabetes cases or deaths from cardiovascular disease, when the truth is these conditions are soaring. So, what's the solution? The doctor knew that conventional medicine was great at putting a diagnosis, but terrible at removing the root causes of vascular failure. At the same time, there were hundreds of powerful natural remedies that didn't have the horrible side effects of many prescription drugs. There had to be a middle ground between the two. And he wanted to create a simple-to-follow protocol that would help people develop the same unconscious, almost effortless self-healing habits. Something that would allow your body to reverse vascular failure in the background without a conscious effort, so that you can gradually get off the prescription pill roller coaster. He called it Vascular Failure Protocol, the simple, easy plan for resetting your cardiovascular health. If you've been looking for one program that could reverse most, if not all, of your debilitating conditions quickly and easily, then this is it. The Vascular Failure Protocol is a one-of-a-kind program that will show you how to completely eliminate prediabetes, effectively reverse insulin resistance, and control your type 2 diabetes to the point where you forget you ever had it. Lower your blood pressure naturally without drugs and without the nasty side effects millions of Americans are so used to. Slash your bad LDL cholesterol without taking statins, while at the same time boosting the good cholesterol and bringing your triglycerides back to high school levels, all without gaining any weight, but actually losing pounds upon pounds of dangerous visceral fat. The Vascular Failure Protocol will help your arteries age backwards, which will greatly reduce or even eliminate one of the main causes of cancer and vascular dementia. And it's your ticket out of excruciating chronic pain caused by arthritis. As far as we know, the Vascular Failure Protocol is the only program designed to fight the 4 root causes of vascular failure at the same time. And it's probably the only program that is tailor-made just for you. A personalized program based on your particular conditions and blood test results that will allow you to easily create your healing program optimized for you. You'll finally be able to put a stop to that never-ending fatigue and to those days when you're feeling drained after doing barely any work. You'll be able to enjoy quality sex again, and you'll notice more than stronger erections or better libido. You also will be able to enjoy your former life without fearing you'll pop an artery when you take a Viagra, or maybe even without having to take a Viagra at all. At last, you'll be able to not just control, but reverse your scary cholesterol while bringing your blood sugar levels and blood pressure to normal levels for the long run. No more playing whack-a-mole with your conditions, no more side effect bingo. In fact, as you go through the Vascular Failure Protocol and notice the results, you'll finally be able to cut down on those risky prescription drugs, or even stop taking them entirely. And should you ever have to get surgery, you'll have more peace of mind knowing that your youthful blood is making it easier for the body to recover fast. So how does the Vascular Failure Protocol work? You see, the Mr. X and Mr. Y cases were 2 extremes out of thousands of cases Dr. Skirtu has operated on. There are so many people in between. But just as shocked as the doctor was to see young people who were rotten on the inside, he was also surprised to see there are still plenty of seniors whose blood vessels are younger than they're supposed to be. The doctor kept seeing older patients with youthful blood, and he couldn't understand how that was possible. They didn't seem to do anything special. Sometimes they were blatantly disregarding what their cardiologist recommended, sometimes drinking a glass or 2, some even smoking the occasional cigarette. What was going on? So Dr. Skirtu started spending more time with these outliers, observing them, interviewing them, sometimes almost stalking them at the grocery store to understand their lifestyles. He wanted to understand what they were doing, what they were eating, how they kept the 4 deceivers under control. The first thing he noticed was what these seniors weren't doing. They weren't on starvation diets, and in fact, they weren't on anything you'd call a diet. They weren't taking too many prescription pills, if any. They weren't counting calories or killing themselves in the gym. The most surprising thing was that, when asked, many had no idea that they were doing anything special. And yet, they were. As the doctor discovered, the outliers were unconsciously eating a special combination of foods that were keeping them healthy. But not just any foods, but a selection of foods that were helping restore the vascular system's natural balance, reversing vascular damage. How it works is very simple. The drugs your doctor is prescribing rely on an active principle to heal you. For instance, if you have high blood pressure, your doctor might prescribe a diuretic, something that will force your body to eliminate more water. Problem is, many prescription diuretics come with a host of side effects, but you can get the same positive effects with no side effects from taking a natural diuretic. Want a quick fix? Look no further than beer. While drinking too much alcohol can increase your blood pressure, having 1 serving of beer per day can slash up to 4 points from your blood pressure, because beer has a diuretic effect. At the same time, moderate beer consumption will increase your good HDL cholesterol. That's a double whammy against the 4 deceivers. Or if you're on a zero alcohol lifestyle, a serving of fresh beets is proven to work even better, with no documented side effects. And what about cholesterol? Statins are proven to lower your LDL, even though, like we've shown you, this very rarely translates into a better, longer life. Yet there's a little-known natural alternative to statins that not only will cut your LDL cholesterol, but it will also cause your good HDL cholesterol to soar. This miracle cholesterol normalizer is pomegranate juice, and it's been proven in studies to be not just safe, but effective when restoring your optimal cholesterol levels. Pomegranate juice is packed with antioxidants like polyphenols that prevent cholesterol from getting glued to your artery walls, thus preventing atherosclerosis. Want to reverse your type 2 diabetes? Lifestyle changes will be at the core. But if you want to get on the fast track to keeping your diabetes under control with as few prescription drugs as possible, there's a little-known natural shortcut. Recent scientific studies conducted in Japan show that bilberries reduce glucose levels in the blood because they contain a powerful glucose buster substance called anthocyanin. And here's the kicker. Bilberries not only lower your glucose levels, but they've been shown to lower blood pressure, to lower bad cholesterol, help with fat loss, and even reverse atherosclerosis. This is the key to reversing vascular failure. You need a way to fight all of the 4 deceivers at the same time. In fact, there are hundreds of these powerful natural compounds that fight vascular failure, some of them even more powerful than the ones we just mentioned. In the proper combinations, these natural substances will dramatically lower your bad cholesterol, normalize your blood pressure, reduce your belly fat, and improve your blood sugar metabolism, with none of the side effects that you're so used to. And when you start looking at your kitchen as a pharmacy and you start using these foods as medicine, this is when you start eliminating the 4 root causes of vascular failure. And that's not all. Here's just a glimpse of what's inside the Vascular Failure Protocol. We'll show you how to download healthy habits into your brain and put vascular healing almost on autopilot. It's a simple, no willpower required method that removes the anxiety from having a healthy lifestyle and turns healthy choices into something as easy as brushing your teeth or taking a shower every day. We'll show you what foods reverse erectile dysfunction caused by the 4 deceivers. ED is one of the first signs that a stroke or heart attack is coming, and this will show you not only how to make good sex a part of a healthy lifestyle, but how to do it without risking your life. You'll have access to a Red Alert program if you're at a high risk of stroke or a heart attack. This is probably the first thing you should read to avoid sudden death. We'll explain why most supplements don't work, even when the label lists scientifically proven ingredients. It's all about how they were processed, and we'll show you how to make your own kitchen counter supplements that are not just more affordable, but are in a completely other league of healing power. You'll get our special list of over 20 natural bad cholesterol busters, along with the HDL kickstarters that promote the good cholesterol. You'll learn about a little-known sweet fruit that helps reverse type 2 diabetes. This delicious treat contains the amino acid citrulline that restores insulin sensitivity in people who lost it. So you'll not only bring your blood sugar levels down when you eat it, but you'll also lose belly fat. And you'll get our special list of over 90 miracle herbs and foods that are scientifically proven to vanquish the 4 deceivers, so that you can mix and match to personalize the ultimate vascular failure protocol. Many of the foods we recommend in the Vascular Failure Protocol will deliver a double, triple, or even quadruple punch to the 4 deceivers. If you're tired of taking 100 pills every day, you can reverse many of your conditions with just a few carefully selected herbs that help reverse all 4 root causes of vascular failure at the same time. What's more, when you invest in the Vascular Failure Protocol, the simple, easy plan for resetting your cardiovascular health free of charge today, you'll also get 3 special reports that are essential to restoring your energy. The first special report is called Nature's Painkillers, and it's something you should read immediately. If you're experiencing chronic pain, reversing vascular failure will be the best thing you ever do. That's because vascular failure has been linked to chronic pain, especially fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis, and chronic neck pain. Yet prescription painkillers are a risky solution. Each year, painkillers kill 3 times more Americans than cocaine. Their side effects are brutal, sometimes leading to even worse pain, to depression, or even death. That's why we've put together a collection of safe, effective painkillers that come from nature. These substances are documented to have a powerful, soothing effect when it comes to getting rid of headaches and migraines, rheumatic pain, joint and back pain. The second bonus is even more important. It's called pain-free exercising technique, and it addresses a serious frustration. Most people don't exercise not because they're lazy, but because exercising can be too painful to their knees, wrists, or back. And that's too bad, because exercising is one of the fastest ways for you to lose weight, improve your blood pressure, lower your bad cholesterol, and even keep your blood sugar levels under control. That's why we've put together this special report that will put the fun back in exercising. These low-impact, low-discomfort techniques will not just help you shed pounds, but they will create a snowball effect where you find yourself being more active every day without feeling like you're punishing yourself. Plus, this special report will explain how to gradually get back to an active lifestyle without putting too much strain on your heart. This will be the key towards staying active well into your 80s and 90s without being confined to a wheelchair or bed. The third special report deals with a topic that seems taboo for people with signs of vascular failure: sex. Vascular failure can rob both men and women of good quality sex. It's responsible for a lack of libido and arousal, and it can spell disaster for erections. And while the vascular failure protocol should be enough to put good sex back on the menu, we wanted to give you a shortcut. The Better Sex Over 40 special report will show you exactly what you can do right now to reignite your sex life without prescription drugs. You'll discover what foods are nature's Viagra, what inexpensive herbs boost your testosterone naturally, and how you can stay sexually active even into your 70s. You'll get all these 3 special reports for free when you try the Vascular Failure Protocol today. So how much will reversing your vascular failure cost? If you go the conventional way, it will cost you a lot. The healthcare system took a simple problem and made it almost impossible to solve. You'd need not one doctor, but a team made out of a diabetologist, a nutritionist, a cardiologist, and maybe a personal trainer, too. That's out of most people's reach and virtually ensures that the epidemic will only grow. We've tried to make this the most valuable program you've ever invested in. Not only will it help reverse the main causes of 4 out of 5 deaths, but it will allow you to really enjoy your golden years without having to pop one pill after another. So we've tried to make it as affordable as possible to reverse your vascular damage. That's why getting the Vascular Failure Protocol won't cost you hundreds of dollars. Your investment is a lot less. The entire program, plus the 3 special bonuses, are just $47, and you get 12 months of support and lifetime updates. And frankly, the price doesn't even matter. That's because you're protected by our real results guarantee. It's simple. You need to experience real, tangible results with our program in 60 days or less, or you get your money back, no questions asked. You'll see the results in better blood tests, see how your bad cholesterol plummets, experience stable blood pressure, and balance your blood sugar naturally while losing the dangerous belly fat. Or simply contact us for a quick, hassle-free refund. So you can feel safe about ordering now. All the risk is on us. Simply click the button below to get access to the Vascular Failure Protocol now. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, so let's recap. You've seen that taking statins to lower your bad cholesterol is like playing roulette with your health, and how over 1.4 million people die each year from causes statins cannot prevent. We've shown you that vascular failure is the real enemy, and that unless you find a way to reverse the 4 root causes of vascular failure, you're likely to die prematurely from cardiovascular disease, from cancer, or vascular dementia. You've seen how sometimes the problem is in the cure. Diabetes drugs can make you fat. Blood pressure drugs can raise your cholesterol. Cholesterol drugs can give you diabetes. And diabetes drugs can make you fat. It's a vicious circle that virtually guarantees vascular failure. You've also seen that it doesn't have to be this way. There's only one way to break the circle, and that's by attacking all the root causes at the same time. Most remedies, even the holistic ones, fail to do this because they focus on one root cause at a time. But the Vascular Failure Protocol, the simple, easy plan for resetting your cardiovascular health protocol, is the only program designed to restore your body's natural healing power, to reverse vascular failure, and to protect you from the #1 cause of cardiovascular death. Most of all, we've shown you that you're only as old as your arteries, and going through the vascular failure protocol will be like putting youthful blood back in your arteries. It will help you heal faster. It will make surgery work. But most of all, it will restore the energy and the youthfulness you need to function like a normal person. We are all going to die sooner or later. What matters is how you live. For too many people, living had been reduced to mere survival, to an addiction to dangerous drugs that rarely work. And what if there was a way to bring back the energy of your 30s, to turn back the clock on your blood vessels, and to feel not just healthy, but useful for years or even decades more than the medical establishment death sentence? The world is full of seniors who ski, swim, run, or in general have a more active lifestyle than many in their 40s. You could be like that too when you stop and reverse your vascular failure. Now you can do this, and it's never been easier. For the first time in your life, you have a simple protocol that targets only what matters, the real root causes. For the first time in your life, you won't be creating more conditions than you're healing. And for the first time, you can perform a vascular miracle in your life starting now. You've got nothing to lose, no debilitating side effects to suffer, no outrageous bills to pay. You have 60 days to start feeling the changes inside your body, or you get a full refund, no questions asked. So go on, click the orange Add to Cart button and see how good it feels to reverse the aging of your arteries. Still here? Let me explain just how the vascular failure protocol helps you reverse the 4 causes of vascular failure. The protocol relies on just 3 simple steps to making a remarkable turnaround in your health and in your life. Step number 1 is to uncover the 4 deceivers. Step 2 is a fast-track template for fast vascular failure reversal. Step 3 is to tweak your protocol to your body's needs. Let's take them one by one. Most programs fail at the very beginning because they assume everyone's the same. But they're wrong. Some people are naturally predisposed to gain more weight than others. Some are skinny, while blood pressure and high cholesterol are destroying them from the inside. What is your particular combination of the vicious 4? For this, modern medicine has the answer. The Vascular Failure Protocol, the simple, easy plan for resetting your cardiovascular health, will give you a short list of inexpensive blood tests and how to read them. Once you know the enemy you're dealing with, you're ready to choose one of the 5 fast-track programs that applies to you. Step 2 is at the core of the program, the fast-track programs for reversing vascular failure. After you have your blood test results, you'll realize you're probably in one of 5 big buckets. Your blood fats are off the charts, meaning you need to slash your LDL and triglycerides while making your good HDL cholesterol soar fast. You have prediabetes, diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. Your blood pressure is out of control. You have atherosclerosis that you need to reverse as soon as possible. Or you're just too overweight. Each of these 5 scenarios is very different. This is why most courses that focus on just one condition, be it diabetes, blood pressure, or weight loss, ultimately fail. They are one size fits all, when what you need is a program that's tailored to your specific problems. With the Vascular Failure Protocol, the simple, easy plan for resetting your cardiovascular health, you get a huge amount of freedom to design your own program, starting with a comprehensive list of miracle foods and herbs. Each of these plants was ranked for its healing power from 1 to 5 stars, and for its ability to reverse 2, 3, or even all of the 4 deceivers. This is where you start to see the results. And for some of the things we recommend, results are immediate. You can cut your blood pressure in a matter of hours. See your LDL drop by 10% in the first 4 weeks without statins. And notice how your blood sugar is no longer all over the map. This in the very first month of being on the program. Frankly, that would be enough to start reversing your cholesterol levels, blood sugar levels, blood pressure, and excess weight naturally. And this will give you immediate results you can feel in your body. Better energy, better mental clarity, and you won't believe how fast you can shed pounds off your belly. But to Dr. Skirtu, this wasn't enough. because to truly make these results stick, you need a final step that most programs miss, and that is optimizing it to perfection. This is why most diets fail. Whether you go paleo or vegan, keto or pescatarian, your success rate depends on more than just your ability to stick to it. Different bodies react differently to the same foods. It's the same with the Vascular Failure program. We don't dictate what's good for you and what isn't, but instead, we show you how to optimize your program after the first round of positive results. This will lead to an even faster improvement of your essential markers, so you can gradually reduce or even eliminate some of the prescription pills you're depending on right now. Plus, you're protected by our real results in 60 days money-back guarantee. So go ahead, click the button below to get the Vascular Failure Protocol today.